You can only find a solution to what already exists, and you can only live from where you are. I think in our preoccupation with what is to come, we greatly neglect what is without realizing that what is to come is always being shaped by what is. And if we live for today, if we look after today, then tomorrow will be okay. I was watching this spiritual teacher recently on YouTube, right? He has some really good videos. I think his name is Dr. Jan Bafor, or Dr. Bafor Jan, or something like that, right? If you guys have the time, really go check out his videos, right? He has some really great videos, and he speaks of some really deep topics, so on and so forth, right? And in one of his videos, he said something that really stood out to me, right? And in one of his videos, he said that tomorrow is the child of today. That's what he said, right? And I don't think we really realize how deep that statement is. I don't think we really realize how profound that statement is, right? Just as how a child takes after his or her parent, right? Both in terms of the DNA and genes, and even, in terms of the phenotype, right? And how the child looks. In the same way, tomorrow will always take after today. And if tomorrow will always take after today, why do we spend so much time worrying about tomorrow instead of focusing on today? Instead of spending so much time worrying about tomorrow, why don't we focus on what we deposit today? Why don't we focus on taking care of today? And in taking care of today, tomorrow will be okay as well, right? I think a lot of us live in this constant state of anxiety, in this constant state of worry, right? Wake up every day and we worry about tomorrow. We worry about the future. We worry what's going to happen. We live in so much anxiety. The world is filled with people who constantly live in a state of anxiety, right? And just like Alan Watts said, no amount of anxiety is going to make a difference to anything that is going to happen. Us spending time in worry, us dwelling in anxiety, it's only going to take away from the present moment. It's only going to take away from now, right? And not only that, but the mere fact that, our worry is taken away from today, taken away from the present moment, that in itself is going to be the thing that affects tomorrow. That in itself is going to be the thing that, takes away from tomorrow, right? But if we allow ourselves to bring our attention to now, if we allow ourselves to bring our attention today, and we deposit not only actions of positivity today, but thoughts of positivity in today, then tomorrow will take care of itself, right? Tomorrow will be okay. My life really began to change once I began to say to myself, let what is to come be what is to come. Let anything that is going to happen, let it happen, right? Not only did I find so much peace within myself, but once I let go the need to know and the need to control tomorrow, that's when things truly began to work out in my favor. That's when things truly, began to align itself, right? Because I'm not spending so much time depositing thoughts of anxiety and worry and fear. I'm living for the moment, and I'm trusting that life will unfold how it is meant to unfold. See, all we can control is what is in our hands. And whatever isn't in our hands is in the hands of God. Whatever isn't in our control is in God's control. So why do we spend so much time worrying? Why do we spend so much time in anxiety? Why do we spend so much time worrying about tomorrow? All we have is today, right? All that exists right now is today, the present moment, right? That's all we have control over. What we put into the day, what we deposit today. I think one of our greatest flaws as human beings is that we have this incessant need to control things. We have this incessant need to always be in control, right? And control to some degree is an illusion. All we can control is what we put in. All we can control are our actions, right? Everything else is truthfully not up to us. Everything else is not in our control, right? And our need to control everything is why we're in control of nothing. Because a part of being controlled in this world is letting go of our illusion of control, is letting go of the need to be in control, right? Paradoxically, that's when control is in a sense within our grasp. Once we let go of the need to be in control. You know, I've been sort of reading the Tao Te Ching recently, right? And I remember when I first picked up that book, I really didn't I guess grasp the concepts within that book to a large extent. But now that I'm reading it and I'm taking my time to digest it, certain sentiments that I'm literally saying in this video are echoed throughout that entire book, right? And what it talks about is being one with the Tao, going with the flow of life, right? Allowing things to unfold, not forcing things, not feeling as if you have to constantly be in control because you're not in control, right? We're truthfully not. And our ability to go with the flow of life, our ability to let what is be what is, and let what is to come unfold naturally, is how we find not only peace in this life, not only peace and contentment, but ultimately that's when things truly begin to work out in our favor. As long as we spend so much time in worry, things are just always going to be against us, right? Because you have to understand, and I've said this before in my last video, the external world reflects whatever it is that we hold within. And so if we live in a state of internal worry, if we live in a state of internal anxiety, then the life and the universe will only bring us situations and circumstances and people who perpetuate that feeling of anxiety, who perpetuate that feeling of worry, right? And we have to bring ourselves, right, to an internal peace for our world to reflect that. You don't have to always be in control. There's always something working in your favor, right? There's always something supporting us. We don't even take the time to really look around us and really realize how much we're being supported by this world, how much we're being supported by this universe, right? When was the last time you woke up and you were conscious of the fact that you were breathing, right? Literally conscious of the fact that you are breathing, right? Breathing is something that we don't even have to do for ourselves because, there's something, some greater power, whether you want to call it God, the universe, source, whatever, that is, in a sense, taking care of that for us, right? We don't have to worry about pumping our own blood or beating our own heart and digesting our own food and so on and so forth, because we have within us something that is taking care of all of that for us, and we don't have to really worry about that, right? Unless something goes wrong in our body. And even then, there are systems and things in place to notify us whenever, our body isn't in a state of homeostasis, right? So we are always being supported. We are always supported, but we just don't realize it. And we spend so much time in worry, so much time in worrying about tomorrow, without realizing that there's something always working in our favor. And instead of worrying about tomorrow, all we have to do is bring our focus to today and allow tomorrow to take care of itself, right? It's about trusting life, right? I've been thinking even about the concept of trust recently, right? And true trust is simply letting go. True trust is surrendering our illusion of control, and trusting that there's something, an unseen force, right, that is working in our favor. We don't have enough trust. We don't have enough faith, right? We don't. The world is filled with people who live in a constant state of anxiety. The world is filled with people who live in a constant state of worry. Why spend so much time worrying about the future? Why not focus on today? And even if you're watching this and you're anxious about something that you believe is coming up, even if you're watching this and there's something in the future or tomorrow that is coming up that is causing you to be anxious, you have to have the faith, the belief, the conviction, the trust that you will find the strength and the courage to overcome it. You've been in dire and worse situations in your life and you've overcome them, right? We don't even realize it, but a lot of us have been through so much. A lot of us have overcame so much, and it's like we completely forget about all the things that we've overcome. And when another obstacle is in front of us, right? When another obstacle is, when we're faced with another obstacle, I should say, we forget about all the times when we thought we wouldn't make it, right? We forget about all the times when we were worrying and things fell into place and things, work out for the better good, worked out in our favor, right? Even in times when we were at our lowest, we still found a way. And you will always find a way. Things will always unfold how they're meant to unfold, right? There's something always working in your favor. But your ability to trust, your ability to have faith, your ability to be present enough to place your attention on today is going to be the thing that creates a future or creates a tomorrow that is filled with all the abundance, all the positivity, all the love, all the success, all the things that you truly desire. Taking care of today will be the thing that guarantees that tomorrow will be taken care of as well. And I'm not saying there won't be obstacles in tomorrow. I'm not saying there won't be problems of tomorrow. Those things are a natural part of life. But even in the midst of our problems, even in the midst of certain dilemmas, we're always being supported. We're always being guided, right? There's always something working for us. But unless we place our attention on today, unless we focus on today and give our all today, right? In the sense that we deposit not only actions of positivity but thoughts of positivity as well, then and only then tomorrow will be okay. Then and only then things will unfold how we want them to unfold. But don't spend so much time worrying about tomorrow. Tomorrow will be okay. Tomorrow will take care of itself. If there's an event that is coming up that you're anxious about, if you're anxious that this thing might happen or that thing might happen, if it does happen, you will overcome it. You've been through so much before. You overcame so much in your life. Tripping over my damn words, right? If you're watching this and you're 25 and up and even younger, right? Then you've been through circumstances in your life in which you didn't see a way out. But when a way out was needed, it came your way. And in the same way, life is always providing us with solutions. Life is always providing us with whatever it is that we need in the moment. And you just have to trust life. You have to go with the flow of life. But don't lose today with your preoccupation with tomorrow. Focus on today. Live in the present moment. And trust and have faith that things will unfold exactly how they're meant to unfold. And things will work out in your favor. Right? You have to trust and believe. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being with me. Yeah. Trying to see if I have anything else to say to you guys, but I think I pretty much said what I needed to say. Yeah, and all in all, I just really hope you guys take some time to be present. Take some time to give your all to today. Place your attention on today. I know it's really hard in these times to have faith. I know it's really hard in these times to really trust. But trust isn't meant for the good times, right? Trust isn't meant in times when there's certainty. True trust rests and true trust exists in times of uncertainty. And that's when it is truly needed the most. It's easy for us to trust when things are looking good. It's easy for us to trust when things are, daisies and rainbows. But it's hard for us to trust when things look bleak. And when things truly look bleak, that's when trust is truly needed the most. Right? So yeah, take care of yourselves. Give yourselves a little bit of love every day, like I always say. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace and blessings.